Hi, welcome back to Talking Talent with TaRita. Today I'm talking about how to pick the best candidate for you. So if this is a candidate for your department or one that is going to work specifically for you, how do you know you got the best one? What are some things that you can do? Well, after you've gone through the bulk of your interview process, I think there's one last piece that's really critical, and that's having a sit-down conversation or interview between the supervisor and the candidate that you think is the one. And there's some key questions that you want to ask, and there's some things that you want to share about yourself. Number one, ask that candidate, what are 3 non-negotiables that they have to have in a job? This is a very telling question, and it's going to give you some good insight. You also want to ask them, where do they see themselves in the next 2 to 5 years? Maybe even a little bit less, and what does that look like? What are their expectations if they get in a job around their professional development and their career trajectory? You also want to ask them how they prefer to be supervised and what are their supervisory expectations, because you want to know that going into that. Ask them about flexibility and work environment. What are the things in the work environment that is really important to them, and what's important about the relationship between the supervisor and them? In addition, ask them about what type of feedback they like to receive. So, is it waiting to the annual review, which I am not a fan of? I think you really should provide ongoing feedback. I'm a big proponent of one-on-ones, but you want to hear from that candidate what their expectations are. In addition to that, you want to share about you. How do you supervise? What are the things that you need? What are your expectations? So for instance, I had an administrative assistant one time who just knew me well. She knew that I had a busy schedule from the moment that I came into the job to the moment that I leave. I had meetings, and she would literally text me and say, "TaRita, you got 5 minutes to get to the next meeting." And I love the fact that she was so in sync with me, and that she would, when I came in the morning, she would turn my light on, she would have my door open, because she knew that I was flying. I just needed to be able to go in there. I didn't want to have to fumble with my keys. It was ready to go. So you want a person that really knows you well, that can work with you well, that understands the craziness of you. So you want to talk about your strengths as well as your limitations as a supervisor, so that person can ascertain, is this a relationship that's going to work for me? In addition, you want to make sure that they are really feel comfortable in the culture of the organization as well as the team, because if you ever left the organization, is this still a place for them? And the things that you promised them for a professional development standpoint, you want to make sure that you own up to it, whether you leave there or not. Thank you so much. I hope this has been helpful for you.